Hello everybody, my name is EonShiKeno and I'm going to cast a game today on Xel'Naga Caverns. This is a one match from the Zotac tournament between mouzMaNa as our yellow Protoss player on the top right corner of Xel'Naga Caverns and Aristeo, okay, as our red Zerg player down here in the bottom left part of the map. And already we have mouzMaNa setting up a forge. And he has a probe down here in the bottom section between the natural expansion and the front entrance of Aristeo. Man, I'm gonna have so many problems with that name. Aristeo. Okay, anyways, mouzMaNa throwing down a pylon. He's probably going to throw down some cannons outside of his base just to stop that Zerg from expanding. At the same time, Aristeo is going up and scouting his opponent's base with the drone, spreading out his overlords. He's probably going to move this one, maybe up here near this natural expansion. Sometimes I like to leave my overlord over here just to check on this expansion. Or another good spot is on the right side of his base, and you can just kind of sneak in there, do a suicide. But we do have some photon cannons going down for 2 probes defending, pulling a whole bunch of drones out. So we've got 7 drones attacking these photon cannons, and that should be enough drones to be able to kill this off. And I'm kind of confused why mouzMaNa placed the photon cannons here. He didn't go for a complete wall off like a lot of Protoss players do. They put down 2 cannons, or sorry, they put down 2 pylons, and then put a cannon behind it, just to wall off completely. But he kind of did it passively. Maybe he was just trying to hide it from his opponent. But I don't know what he's planning on doing here. But anyway, he's trying to at least deny this expansion. And I think the problem with this build he was going for here is the placement of this pylon and the cannons. If he wanted to just deny the expansion, he could have hit it down here, put down cannons, denied the expansion. But he was kind of going for maybe being too greedy because he didn't wall this off. So it wasn't like a good version of walling this off, and it wasn't a good version of stopping this. So it's kind of like an in-between strategy. And that obviously failed, so mouzMaNa now in defensive mode has a gateway up, has a photon cannon up there for defense, and he's going to get the zealot out. Going to have to chrono boost that. It's going to be pretty close to see if these Zerglings can get there before this zealot comes out. He's not even building yet. Oh no, he's got no money. Does he have enough for a chrono boost? He does have enough for a chrono boost, so let's see if he's going to get those Zerglings in there. There's a photon cannon up there, so he may just go up there, see the photon cannon, turn around and not do a run by. But oh, he just does turn around, only takes 1 hit from that photon cannon. So Aristeo, and now with map control, pushing this overlord over here in this position below Mana's base. Now Mana is coming out with a probe. I'm not quite sure what he's going to do with this probe. Maybe just trying to bait to the cannon. That's pretty tricky. But it doesn't look like he's going to take. He's probably maybe going to throw down a pylon, maybe trying to expand, go for an expansion. His opponent, Aristeo, is going for an expansion, so he's got that expansion up, getting metabolic boost. Queen is over here injecting away into that hatchery, and he's just really trying to bait those Zerglings, and that metabolic speed is finished, and he's just baiting here with those Zerglings and with this probe, but he's going to get 1 too, but I don't really think that was worth it. He traded 1 probe for, I think that was 2 Zerglings, so I mean, monetary-wise, it was an even trade, but the probe could have been mining that whole time. So I don't think that was too smart of an idea. A little bit tricky, though. So more gateways going down, chrono boosting research warp gate, and he's got 3 warp gates, and now researching ground weapons level 1. So right now in Aristeo's position, he has complete map control. He knows his opponent early game rush failed, so he's very far behind in economy, because he wasted so much money on minerals, on the pylons, the cannons, and all sorts of stuff. So at this point, he can just macro like crazy. He really doesn't have to build anything. He just has a couple of Zerglings out just to keep an eye on his opponent. And right now is a pretty good time, about the 6-7 minute mark. He's going to go in here and suicide this overlord and see what is going on in his opponent's base. This is pretty good timing. He's going to see both of these gateways finish, and he's going to see all of them turn into warp gates. And he's trying to micro these sentries. I don't think I've ever seen sentries microed like that. I think he was microed too hard, and they actually weren't even attacking for the whole beginning part of that. But anyway, finally he does kill that overlord, but the overlord did get a very good vision of that entire base. we can just see what he has seen. So he's pretty much seen everything that's important. He didn't see this gas, but that's not too important. So we have an expansion being built for mana. And he has his Overlord in this back position. He'll probably suicide that in to check out this Nexus maybe. Or he'll probably just use these Zerglings. Running some Zerglings up through the middle, setting them at the Xel'Naga Towers. Both are under control from Aristeo. And spreading some Creep Tumors, putting down some Spine Crawlers. I really don't even think these are necessary considering how far his opponent is behind. But anyway, we got Hydra. We have got a Roach Warren, actually Hydralisk Den, getting the Groove Spine upgrade. And doing fairly well on his macro. We can check the resources, the only about 175, so doing pretty good on the macro. Let's check the economy. Up by 13 right now, so our Zerg player Aristeo has a huge lead. And this running this Zergling in here, just checking out the army composition of mana. A lot of Zerg players, I mean, every race has the ability to do this, just run in one quick unit, just to see what your opponent has and run away very quickly. And that's where you see a lot of pro players, like really high-level Korean players, like when they play Terran Mirror Match, they'll just put like one Marine out here, one out here, and just leave like the rest of their army in the back, hidden. So that way, whenever people come in and try to do that little scouting maneuver, your army isn't completely grouped up and spread out, and they don't get as good of an idea of what type of army composition you have. So Mana looks like he's going to go out for a push right now. We've got actually an attack. We've got he's got this probe out here in the middle of the map. He's probably going to throw down a proxy pylon and go in for an attack. But Aristeo is up to Hydras at this point and has those two Spine Crawlers. Ooh, here we go. Some Nidus Network. So Nidus Networks are pretty awesome, if used correctly at least. So, oh man, he's going to lose both of these Roaches just from these two Stalkers. So, yeah, not a smart move to pull those Roaches off creep, especially since they don't have that Roach speed upgrade. And I don't think, oh, he does have the Roach speed upgrade. Okay. I didn't think it was finished. Oh, I think it just finished just when I was talking about it. So, here we got an attack coming out. mouzMaNa throwing down some force fields, causing those Hydras to have to reposition. Roaches up front. Gonna have to fall back, but I think Aristeo is going to easily be able to hold this off. That proxy pylon is finished. Oh, actually, he's canceling it, and he's going to fall back. I think this is a wise move from Mana after he saw those Hydras, and I just don't think he has enough DPS to deal with that. And as soon as those Lings came out, he's going to do his run. So he's loading up the Nidus Network, and up here at the top we got the Nidus Worms popping out right behind this tall grass. And he's just going to come in here and take out all of this stuff. And the units from Mana is still transferring back to his main. So we have a whole bunch of Hydras coming out. He's pushing this Overload up, and then he's going to drop some creep. Creep is spreading out from the Nidus Canal, Nidus Worm, whatever you want to call it. Sentry's throwing down some force field. Hydras doing a lot of damage, and just falling back to the Nidus Worm, and that thing is going to die, unfortunately. But a little quick attack up here. I think he maybe could have done that a little bit sooner. Just like as soon as he saw his opponent was running away, do that and then pop up here. But I think there's a lot of places on this map where you can throw down Nidus Worms. Unfortunately, like your main base is kind of small compared to other maps, but like all this area back here and down here, there's just so many places where you can put a Nidus Worm and just flank your opponent. So a bunch of Hydras out, just basically Hydra and Ling army for Aristeo, taking out those destructible rocks. We have a hallucinated Phoenix flying around scouting, and that just saw some Roaches, not too much. But let's check the Army Lost tab right now. So they're basically even on resources, pretty even. And let's check spending. Army's a lot higher on our Zerg player, economy's higher. Technology a little bit lower, that's to be expected. So he's got Hydras out here out in the open, but with no creep, so I don't really think this is a smart idea. Maybe he can kind of force Mana to fall back just because of the amount of DPS, but these Hydras are really not the greatest off creep. And I think Mana has enough to hold this off, and Aristeo should maybe just fall back and wait for some more units. But he looks like he's going to maybe go in for an attack right now. Mana getting Immortals. He has 2 Immortals. Is he working on Colossi? Yeah, he's got Colossi coming out. He's finishing that Twilight Council's almost done. That first Colossus isn't finished yet, though. So Zergling's in the front, Roach is right behind, Hydra in the back, dealing all the damage, just walking right into his base here, and there's so much damage. So 121 food versus 84, so Mana is going extremely bad for Mana. Just the macro and the Hydra just are dealing so much damage. These Hydra attack so fast, and it's very, very nice damage and just crazy DPS. So more Zerglings coming in for reinforcements, and just kind of wailing away on the base here. And there we have Mana actually GG's, even before the last Colossus gets out. So we actually saw almost a decent use of Nidus Network, that game. I was actually playing, what was I playing that? Like, maybe yesterday, maybe it was Saturday or something. But I was playing and I was forcing myself every game as Zerg, just use Nidus Worm at least once every game. And I actually had some pretty cool uses out of it, just for escaping and just different types of stuff like that. But try and do new things, and I think it'll definitely improve your game overall. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll probably cast another game today. And if not, I'll see you guys later.